Hello, welcome back from Top of the Wall. My name is Mason Knob, and today we are doing more Pauper stuff. One of my favorite formats, of course. Today we're just doing a deck I'm calling Dimir Madness. I'll have a much snappier name in the title or whatever, or by the end of this video, and just blurt it out. And for all of my Madness decks, I always like to start with the cards that are the discard outlets. We have a couple of them in this deck. Of course, we have, first off, Waterfront Bouncer, which is one of our earlier discard outlets and one of the better ones. It gives us a little bit of a way to interact with our opponent and give them a tempo loss. We can discard a card and essentially turn one of our Madness cards into an unsummon, in addition to whatever else it does. We have our Plague Witch, which is essentially just a way to give something -1/-1 until end of turn. So it's kind of like Scar. In addition to whatever the Madness card says, we got our Kavalkan. What does that say? Whatever. It's a sorcerer. It is a blue sorcerer, and it gives you a bonus for discarding black cards, or a non-black card to just draw a card. If you discard a black card, you get to draw 2 cards, then discard an additional card. So you can dig a little bit deeper and discard a little bit more. And last here, we have our Mental Discipline, which is a 3-mana cost enchantment. Very strong card. Pay 2, choose and discard a card from your hand, and then draw a card. Now, of course, when you're discarding it, you are then able to cast it for its Madness cost before this thing's ability resolves. So this resolves afterwards. And the reason why this is so sweet and so awesome is because you can just do it repeatedly for 2 mana. It does not require tapping of any kind. And it actually does not cause card disadvantage. It actually causes card advantage, but it's only good when there's one of them. Multiples are not very strong, and I don't want to have to pay 2 mana to just cycle the other one. Then we have all of our removal spells, which are all, of course, Madness cards. We have our Dark Withering, classic, just 1 black mana. Doomblade. We have Murderous Compulsion, a little bit worse, but it is another sort of Doomblade type effect. Technically, it's Assassinate for 2 mana. We have our Psychotic Episode, which is like a better version of Thoughtseize for 2 mana. And it also lets us look at the top card of our opponent's library. So then we can just choose the best one, well, their best card, and just put it to the bottom of their library. Fantastic. We have our Circular Logic, a great counter spell just for 1 blue mana. Counter target spell for unless they pay 1 for each card in our graveyard. An Obsessive Search just cycles essentially for 1 blue mana, but if we are discarding it from the hand, like say discard it to give something -1/-1 until end of turn, and drawing the card, then by casting it for its Madness cost, we're paying blue and a black, draw a card, give something -1/-1. Sweet 2 for 1. And a Gorgon Recluse as also one of the finishers and one of the Madness cards. It has an odd kind of Death Touch, and it can be cast for 2 black mana. Then our finisher for the deck is Gurmag Angler, last non-land card and non-artifact card in the deck. It has Delve on it, 5/5, essentially that we cast for just 1 black mana. Usually a pretty strong control finisher in a lot of decks. And the last non-land card, last non-land card in the main board is Mistveil Border Post. It fixes us for just the cost of returning a basic land to our hand and paying 1. So we can essentially use this to keep our hand size higher and allow us to cycle some of our cards or discard them to our discard outlets to allow us to continue playing the game and putting our opponents off. We also have Dimir Aqueduct to do something similar. Honestly, I probably prefer Dimir Aqueduct most of the time. We got 4 Dismal Backwaters to fix us, 5 Islands, 8 Swamp, because we are more heavily invested in black cards than we are in blue cards. As you can see, double black is actually a thing that we are interested in, and we are a little bit higher on black mana symbols than anything else. Now, for the sideboard, the things that we're scared of. We're not that scared of burn, but if we can hose burn just a little bit, that would be fun. To give him with the essentially a kind of lava spike Lightning Helix to the face, we have a 4 of. Alms to the vein. 2 Annul to fight through artifacts and enchantments, to pick off astrolabes, and to fight people's mirror enforcers that they might be playing in Affinity. Chainer's Edict, just a strong Edict effect against Boggles. 2 Hydroblast, again to fight through not just burn, but against the Goblin decks that occasionally will crop up, and occasionally against the Faithless Looting decks. Neil Spellbomb, great way to fight through graveyards. Get rid of all the nasty cards in their graveyard with the Neil Spellbomb. We got Paradoxical Haze, a neat way to fight through tokens and just give everything -1/-1, and each creature that is an elf usually dies. We got Raven's Crime, 1 black mana, make target player discard a card. Really strong against any kind of other control deck. And since we have the ability to bounce lands back to our hand, we can actually retrace this relatively easily and usually continuously get something out of their hand just for 1 mana. If they want to counter it, then they're going to actually spend mana to still reduce their hand size by 1. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked. And if you would actually like to make your own version of this deck and maybe see the cards that didn't make it into the deck and maybe make your own list, or maybe because I just suck at building decks and you would like to build your own, I have all these amazing cards that I found and looked up myself online, and you can get your very own list. Hold on, there we go. You can get your very own list by just going to taptap.net and copying this deck and adding it to your own profile, so you can have this deck to edit as you would like. Thank you for watching. Coming in for that face touch. Oh, yeah.